And as always, I'd like to just have some sort of a little piece before we even start the video. And even if it's me roaming about my domain, or me in front of the camera, or right here, just sitting in front of my chair, you know what? It is just an honor and a pleasure to have you guys hang out with us for a little bit, hang out with me. And, I say to you guys, always, we appreciate you. And if you enjoy everything that we've done, 6 months we've done all this stuff. And there's a thing called a subscribe button. Hit that if you want to see more stuff that's going on here, whether we talk about all the different stuff that we've talked about. And please do put a comment, chuck a like on it if you do enjoy the stuff, the comedic stuff, all the things that we have done. But I'm going to do my best to put another one out there, because quite honestly, I've done some stupid stuff like imitating the Blacklist guy, Raymond Reddington. I will never, ever do that imitation again. But simple enough. It's a big thank you every time that I put a video out. It is we appreciate you, but at the same time, it is always thank you for making me, even for a little smidge, thank you for making me part of your day. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to do another video of the old clubbing days, because I miss them, and Generation Z and Alpha are trying to own it and never letting it go. But always remember, we had more fun than you did. Let's go to work, crack open that intro. As we are once again throwing ourselves into the mix, we do appreciate you. And in case you're ever wondering, you need to check this guy out, because as always, these are the people that I grew up with. I ain't worried about all the new stuff in here. Like, how many times have I played the new Assassin's Creed or the new God of War and everything like that, and all that stuff like that, and I can't keep up with Fortnite or anything like that right anymore. Guys, always know where you came from. You were a boomer, a Gen X guy. We knew what we grew up with. Gen Z and some of the late millennials, they have no idea whatsoever. So enjoy the time that you are still on this planet and do the things that you do. There's that little extra saying, do you, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now, as always, I said as always, chuck a like if you like all the stuff we're talking about, because I have done 3 videos about the old clubbing days, and after the last handful of weeks, even out with COVID, and kids these days, bloody kids, they're everywhere. They own everything. They own hole-in-the-wall bars. They own dance clubs. They own little shops that hole-in-the-wall places that actually pick up. Our days as Gen Xers of trying to go out and have fun, unless you go to an actual Legion, VFW, or something of that sort, and probably that ain't gonna work either, because probably some alpha kids, some Gen Z kids probably running that shindig too. So in essence, I've said many times on this channel that I preach about the old days, especially about the old days of going out, doing the fun things that we will continue to always say, all the things that we did as late millennials and as Gen Xers, and even the boomers back in the 70s, late 60s. Have fun. That was the bottom line. We always did everything we could to have fun, and we try to do that every single time. Nowadays, Gen Z, and even some of the alphas, well, it just depends, because the alphas probably aren't even old enough yet. And even I fear, because my own nephew is 21 years old, and he's now living his best life, and he's an alpha. But I'll tell you what, I don't hate on him, because he's got a life. But there's other people, even the people that you probably see on Facebook Reels and Instagrams and all the TikToks. Do we all wish we had that world? I don't know. Because quite honestly, what I remember is we had that world back in the day, and it was a hell of a lot more exciting. You had no idea what was coming up. None. You had no idea. You might find out from a phone call or something, because we weren't necessarily texting back then. So I have done so many different things about the old clubbing world, and I miss those days. And I'm going to be turning 49 soon, and I'll tell you what, it will go down as one of the best times of my life. And quite honestly, it goes down to a very probably I'd say a good 40% of this entire world's population probably have this, and I'm just taking a shot. I'm taking a shot in the dark. Maybe it's 30, maybe it's 40, I don't know, because every area is different. Every single area is different. Now, I've gone to the area pre-gaming and all that because we all prepped. I remember, I think I said this in one of my videos. I think I've done 3. I have to think 3, maybe 4. I'm going to guess 3, but I've done a lot of videos already, so who's counting? But those 3 are going to be in a little bit of a thing of the club life. Everywhere is different, but if you were in a group, if you were in a time frame with a bunch of people, you had a plan, a pre-gaming, all get-togethers, you do your little pre-game before you headed out. And like I said, it didn't matter if it was a guy group, a sorority, a fraternity, or whatever. You were a pack of guys. I don't know. You had a bunch of girlfriends and you all met, or if you're just like, hey, we got to get moving, and you had to get in your car, zoom somewhere else, and pick 3 or 4 people up. I don't know how many people can you fit in your Ford Focus. Anyway, in that sense, pre-gaming was a big deal. Time of arrival was also a big deal, and happy hour, because sometimes people wanted to get there because they wanted to get lit before they got on the floor. Happy hour is such a big deal. The cheapest drinks, spend your money, get the drinks, get as many as you could, because you really didn't want to spend a whole heck of a lot after midnight. You really didn't. You really didn't, because they were going to go back up, and the only other time you would really start spending a lot of money is if you absolutely had to be like, oh, there's what's her name? Well, there's what's his name? We're buying shots. Sing that song with us. Unless you weren't a straight edge person, if you weren't seeing that girl with the big ice tub bath with the freaking beer in it, and $2-3 a bottle, whatever. If you didn't buy 2 or 3 of them or something like that, if you were allowed, it is. You have to plan this stuff. You got to bring, if you want to have a good time, whether you were just going out with your friends, chilling, socializing, trying to meet people, or in my case, just having 1 or 2 and being lit and ready to go and go on the floor, you have to plan this stuff out. And for breakers, dancers, entertainers, or whatever it was, wherever club you went to, yeah, that's a thing. Planning ahead is a thing. I also made a couple major things. I thought about this and trying to add different things from all the stuff that I used to put and what I did put in my previous videos. Our times and DJs were different. I have a buddy of mine, Tommy B. I'm hoping to have him on the channel one day. He has the new tech turntables and everything. He has the new stuff. If you had stuff, if you wanted stuff and he didn't have it, too bad. Go cry somewhere. But nowadays, he can look the thing up, download it, boom. He can have it and ready to rock and roll. Back in the day, if we didn't have it, sorry about your damn luck. But you waited for that song. You wanted it so much. And I have to recently kind of think about the times where there's a Gen Z girl walking up to the DJ and telling her, I want to hear this. He's never heard it. Oh, I'm sorry. Gen Z's better than you. Sad world we live in. But in a sense, he knows the drill. He's got to go look for it. 20 years ago, we didn't have it. Moving right along. And another thing we kind of did, and also, it wasn't for waiting for that one song. If you didn't have it, too bad. You had took your laps. There was a club in Altoona, PA. It was called Classic Attitudes. It looked like an old I won't say hick bar, but an old country bar, but it was one of the biggest floors in central PA. and it had a little bit of a balcony area as well. But that place was a perfect example, but it also meant for a lot of different clubs around, no matter this area or all over the US or all over the world, because you took laps. You wanted to see who was here. You wanted to see the type of people that walked in. You wanted to see from everybody to the point where you hoped and prayed you saw somebody either famous. You wanted to see, I don't know if you wanted to see the girl you wanted to check out, the guy that you were hoping he'd show up, or you just hope there was somebody famous just walked in. Who knows? You just don't know. You have to take laps. You have to see the environment. You have to see the type of people that are here. You have to find out who the type of people you need to see, the type of people you need to socialize with, and the type of people you need to avoid. And those people, men or women, those are the difficult parts, because once somebody found out you were in a club and you were there, it spreads, the news spreads like Twitter. It goes like wildfire. They find out eventually. So yeah, part of that club and environment's the socializing. That's what it came down to. And all their little things that little types of things is that is they always went by intervals. That every half hour they went like hip hop, or every other 20 minutes it was hip hop, and then a house music, and then in the old days it was slow dances. At least two of them that break up the thing when you heard the DJ. Oh, it is time to slow it down, guys. You were either trying to escape or hoping that one girl would ask you to dance, or you grew a set and you went to find that girl. Maybe you got denied 3 or 4 or 5 times. It was a struggle. Of course, girls try to do the same thing sometimes, but girls are always the most dominant at times as well. It went both ways. So sometimes we try to escape, or sometimes we just get pulled to the side, and girls be like, found him, and you get dragged onto the floor, and you took one for the team. You get a medal. I miss those days. Sometimes those days were scary, but sometimes those days were fun. You just never know who you run into. But you also, you got some friends back then, so that helps. And then I'm going to wind this up, and I'm going to close the bar down. You cannot beat, nobody in this area, nobody around will ever beat the circle. That was the time, regardless of what song it was, there were specific songs. If it was time to open it up, even girls and guys that knew you, if you were breaking, if you were dancing, if you were doing steps, if you're doing routines, they knew the song, they opened it up. It's called opening up the floor. And sometimes that was the most entertaining part of the evening. You could be doing nothing but standing against the wall holding a 40, and you see the floor open up, and you see a bunch of dancers and breakers out there. I miss those days, and a lot of us do. I don't know how Gen Alpha, Gen Z, or I don't know. I keep saying Gen Alpha because they're not there yet. And the late millennials and Gen Z. I don't know how your world works in clubs because you guys own them now. You took that away from us. That's life. Father Time never loses. But when we opened the floor back in the days, it doesn't matter. It was 1990 all the way to 2010. We owned the floor. And you younger people appreciated it. Now you own it, and you don't give a rip about us Gen Xers. Because you could put it on TikTok and be like, we own this world. Again, I say this, and us breakers and my old club members and my old crew members can say, you try living in our world with no social media, no TikTok, no Instagram. You just try. Let's see how far you get. As you get into a scandal, you'll be running around like a chicken with its head cut off, and we would ball laughing. Enjoy what you have. And I say it till I blue in the face, I miss those days. I'm going to shut the bar down. I'm pretty much put out another world of stories that I just continue to put out. We missed the clubbing days because Again, the late millennials and Gen X or Gen Zs are owning everything in this world. But I'll tell you something. I say it, and I say it with pride that I'm happy I was a clubber, because I met a lot of great people. A lot of great people, even if it was a small area or if it was Penn State or anywhere else. I met a lot of great people from all over the world, and I am blessed. I don't talk to them as much as I used to, but I am blessed. So with that said, those of you know that I'm doing something like this, say hello by all means. There's a thing called a subscribe button. Hit that, and you get alerted from when I'm on here again. And plus, always chuck a like if you like a lot of these stories, because I'm going to do more of these. I'm going to tell you what, I miss those days of the circles, and I am going to shut everything down. From everything from entertainers to breakers to dancers, and including including those drunken stupors that think that they own everything, and they were the ones that ruined everything. Thankfully, they turn out to be good people. Always remember the great words from Eliza Schlesinger. We busted our butts on Instagram so that you could thrive on TikTok. God bless. She's an amazing comedian. God bless her. She just had her second child too, as well. So guys, thank you again for hanging out. I'm gonna get the flip out of here because I think I need to go to work soon. I don't know. We'll see what my mood's like. Thank you again for hanging out. I appreciate you, and continue to support the channel whenever you can. Until then, the bar is closed. And I see you bloody legends on the next one. If you hit that subscribe, I will see you again. Much love to you all. Thanks again, guys.